In the last video, we practiced adding fractions with common denominators, so in this video, let's go ahead and practice subtracting fractions with common denominators. Now, if you'd like to download a free copy of this worksheet, you can find a link to that in the description and you can print it out and we can do this together. Let's jump right into it. For number 1, we have 7/8 minus 4/8, so right away we can subtract these two fractions because they do have common denominators. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. Let's put eighths on the bottom for both of them. That's the type of pieces we're dealing with here. And instead of adding like in the last video, we're going to be subtracting 7 minus 4, which is going to be 3. And you should ask yourself, does 3 and 8 have anything in common? Because 3 is prime and it's not one of the factors of 8, then we are all done for number 1, okay? But be sure to check to simplify if you can. For number 2, we have 5/7 minus 4/7, so we're dealing with sevenths here, so make sure we keep our denominator the same. So on bottom, we're going to put 7 and 7, and we're just going to subtract 5 minus 4 in the numerators, and 5 minus 4 is 1. Now 1 can't be simplified, it's kind of a unit fraction there, so we are all done for number 2. For number 3, we have 9/10 minus 2/10, so we're dealing with tenths. Okay, so let's go ahead and just set up one fraction. They can be combined right away. And let's put 10 on the bottom because that's what they have in common. Okay, on top we're going to do 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is going to be 7, and because 7 is prime and it's not a factor of 10, then this is the final answer. Okay, for number 4, we're dealing with fifths here. So we have 14/5 minus 3/5. I'm going to go ahead and set up our fraction bars. Alrighty, and let's put 5 on the bottom, and let's do 14 minus 3. Now 14 minus 3 is going to be 11, so we're going to have 11/5. Now 11 and 5 are both prime, so it can't be simplified, but we can rewrite this as a mixed number if we would like. Think about how many times 5 fits into 11. We have 5 and then 10, so it fits in 2 times with 1 left over, so it's going to be 2 and 1/5. Okay, so can't be simplified, but can be rewritten as a mixed number. Okay, let's check out number 5. For number 5, check this out. We are dealing with thirds here. So we have 17/3 minus 9/3. So let's go ahead and put the 3 on the bottom for both of these, right, just like this. And on the top, we have 17 minus 9. So 17 minus 9, what is that? I think 17 minus 9 is equal to 8, right? 8 plus 9 is equal to 17. Now 8 and 3 have nothing in common. However, it's an improper fraction, so you could leave it like that. But as a mixed number, 3 fits into 8 2 times with 2 left over. So we could write 2 and 2/3 also. Okay. For number 6, we're dealing with fourths here, or quarters. So let's go ahead and write our fraction bars. Throw those on top of 4s. Those should be the same the whole way across. Then we're going to have 23 minus 6. Just double check your subtraction here. 23 minus 6. I think that's going to be 17, right? 17 plus 6 is 23. 17 is prime, and 4 does not go into 17, obviously. And then 4, how many times does 4 fit into 17 for a mixed number? We have 4, 8, 12, 16. So it fits in 4 times with 1 left over. So 4 and 1/4. Okay, moving on to number 7. For number 7, we're dealing with sevenths. Nice little coincidence there. And let's see what we got going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Let's put some 7s down here. And on top, we have 15 minus 3. What's 15 minus 3? I think that's 12, right? 12 plus 3 is 15. 7's prime, and it's not a factor of 12, so don't worry about simplifying. But 7 goes into 12 one time with 5 left over, so 1 and 5/7. Okay, all done. For number 8, we're dealing with thirds here. Okay, we have 25/3. I'm going to take away 17/3. So let's go ahead and set this up. Keep our thirds on bottom. And let's just do a little bit of subtraction here. 25 minus 17. 25 minus 17 I think is 8. I think 8 plus 17 is 25, right? And I think we had 8/3 earlier, but 3 fits into 8 2 times with 2 left over. So 2 and 2/3 would be our final answer if you wanted a mixed number instead of an improper fraction. Let's check out number 9. All right, for number 9, we are dealing with fifths here. So we have this 24/5 minus this 11/5. Throw these fraction bars over here. Let's put a 5 on bottom for both of them. And so all we have to do first is do 24 minus 11. 24 minus 11 I think is 13. 13 plus 11 is 24. And they're both prime numbers, so this can't be simplified. But as a mixed number, 5 will fit into 13 2 times with 3 left over. So it's going to be 2 and 3/5. Okay. For number 10, we are dealing with sixths here. Okay, so that's going to be our common denominator of 6. Let's go ahead and throw 6 on bottom here. And on top, just subtract. Okay, don't overthink it. It's going to be 25 minus 13. 25 minus 13 is 12. Interesting. So 12 is actually exactly double 6. So this definitely can be simplified. Now I'm just going to go ahead and write this out using prime factorizations. So we could write 2, 2, and 3. And 6 is the same thing as 2 times 3. So surprise, surprise, these 2's will cancel out and these 3's will cancel out. So we're just going to be left with 2 over 1, or the same thing as 2 wholes. Okay, so this one actually simplifies to a whole number. Number 11, let's check this one out. We're dealing with thirds. So we got 26 over 3 minus 14 over 3. Let's go ahead and set this up. We have common denominators. Let's put a 3 on bottom and another 3 on bottom. We have 26 minus 14 on top. What's 26 minus 14? That is just 12, right? 12 plus 14 I think is 26. And 12 divided by 3 does come out to a nice whole number just like in the last one. But I'll go ahead and show this as well. 12 is 2, 2, and 3 all multiplied together. And 3 is prime, of course, so that's just going to stay the same. And here you can see that they do just become a whole number, or it does become a whole number just because these 3's cancel and we're left with 4 over 1, or just 4. So again, 12 over 3, or 12 thirds, is the same thing as 4 wholes. For number 12, we are dealing with sevenths. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. Let's throw this on top of 7 for both of these. 7 and 7. And we're going to go do some subtraction. 36 minus 15. 36 minus 15, I think that's 21, right? And let's see, 21 divided by 7, I think that should just be 3. And if we check this on top, that's 3 times 7 on the bottom. This is just 7. And we can cross cancel these 7's as well. And we're just left with 3 over 1, or just 3. So sometimes when you're adding and subtracting fractions, the answer doesn't have to be a fraction if it comes out to a whole number. Okay, so moving on to number 13. For 13, we have 24 over 5, 24 over 5, and 13 over 5. Cool. So we have this and this. We know it's going to be combined. We have a 5 and a 5. Let's just subtract this 24 minus 13. 24 minus 13 is 11, so we have 11 over 5. That can't be simplified because they're both prime numbers. And then 5 will fit into 11 2 times with 1 left over, so 2 and 1/5. Okay. Moving on to 14, we have halves. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our fractions. We have a 2 on bottom, another 2 on bottom. Let's subtract 15 minus 6. 15 minus 6 is just 9, so we have 9 halves. This can't be simplified, but as a mixed number, 2 will fit into 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 times. 4.5 times is how many times 2 will fit into 9. The last couple, on to 15. We are dealing with tenths, so we have 10 and 10 on bottom, so we are good to go with subtracting. And let's go ahead and set up our fractions and know that we're dealing with tenths. And we have 45 minus 13. 45 minus 13, that should be 32. 32 plus 13, I think is 45, right? I think they have something in common. They're both even numbers, right? So what we can do is we can go ahead and break this up. 32 is 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And then 10 just breaks into 2 and 5. So as we predicted, because they're both even numbers, they have these 2's hidden inside of them, right? And now on top, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 16. And on bottom, we just still have this 5. That's the improper version for the answer, but as a mixed number, 5 goes into 16, 5, 10, 15. That's 3 times with 1 left over. So we could write 3 and 1/5 as well. For this last one, number 16, we are dealing with eighths. So check out those denominators. Let's go ahead and combine them right away. So let's keep the same denominator that never changes, unless it can be simplified, of course. But we'll wait for the end for that. We have 42 minus 36. Let's see here. I think 42 minus 36 is going to be 6. 6 plus 36, is that 42? Yeah, I think so. And then let's go ahead and see. They're both even numbers, so we can divide them both by 2. And I can prove it by writing their prime factorizations. That's 2 times 3 for 6. And 8 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2. These 2's will cancel out with each other. And we are left with this 3/4 for our final answer. Okay. And if you wanted to write it any other way, you can't because it is a proper fraction, so we are all done. Okay, so there you have 16 different practice problems on subtracting fractions with common denominators. Again, these aren't too bad because they have common denominators, so just subtract the numerators and then see if you can simplify and you're done. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and letting me know in the comment section down below. And as always, keep up the great work and I'll see you in the next one.